The uglification of female video game characters continues. And yes, today we will be talking about that Fable Girl thing. I don't even know. And I know before I really dive into this, let me just clear the air on some things. Because a lot of people, it's like their rebuttal is immediately going to be, you just want to fap to the characters. Like, they act like we expect these characters to look like they come out of something pornographic, and which is retarded because, dude, I think pornography is degenerate. Okay, so that's not even what I want. Plus, I'm straight. People don't understand that women, especially, we like playing as attractive characters. If it's a dude or if it's a girl. Okay. With girl characters, you know, try to unpack all this, okay? Think of the power fantasy. A power fantasy for a guy is like being really strong and stuff. Power fantasy for a girl is being very attractive. So, yeah. So when we play a game and we're really looking up to the protagonist, we want the female character to be attractive because that's like a power fantasy for us. And like I said, she doesn't have to look pornographic or anything, because there's different ways to make a character look attractive without being raunchy about it, you know? Which I think Lara Croft was, and a lot of people will argue against that, but I just think that's idiotic. The people are under the impression that women don't like attractive female characters, but where they're misguided on that is that it's the blue-haired land whales who don't even really play video games anyway. They're the ones who don't like female characters to be attractive. They don't plan on playing the games anyway, but they don't want to be threatened by the characters, and it's just completely idiotic. Now, when you really think about an MMO, for example, and girls who play MMOs, how do they make their characters look? Cute or hot or beautiful? There's some level of attractiveness. Like, we like playing as attractive characters. This is why I don't really play Bethesda games, because I don't want to play as an ugly character. Like I said, guy or girl, which is funny though, speaking of MMOs, because I actually, MMOs are like anything with a character creation. I usually play as a dude because I made up a character when I was like 15. But even then, he's got to look good. So on Elden Ring, I made that character again. So usually people have no idea. They're not even going to know. I mean, if my screen name is attached to something, but no. Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else, when you play as a game where you customize your character in an MMO or anything, you play as somebody that's not you? You get to pretend like you're somebody else. That's what I've done with Joe Pow here. Don't ask. I was a teenager when I made him up. Anyway, let's talk about this Fable Girl thing. Now, a lot of people too will try to push back, which I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just watch trailer because I have not actually watched the trailer yet. I've only seen the pictures. Yeah.
Oh, we're finally doing this.
So let's see.
I was going to make a sandwich.
Okay, let's turn the captions off.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, starting off with an ugly dude.
Think about heroes. Well,
It's animated well. Looks.
about the place
The graphics are good.
with their disproportionately high cheekbones and comically massive weapons,
Uh-oh. Ah! Yikes!
roughing up bandits because they like to rough up bandits, don't they? Living it up with the common folk every single night. On a day-to-day basis, I'd say the true heroes meet someone who's breaking new ground with fruit or veg on the agricultural side of things.
Dude, I don't want to get like demonetized. Sometimes this happens with trailers and stuff. But let me just kind of breeze through this. Oh my gosh, it gets worse. The side profile. What? That forehead. Why is the brow? Women, we don't have like a huge brow like that. What is going on? Massive mouth. What the crap? That's just a very dominant featured woman thing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. This is actually a better angle.
Yeah.
Did she shrink or is he just giant? In some angles it's not as bad, I guess, but still, she's definitely not cute. Oh dear. Yeah, that's, oh god, oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, And now people try to argue against this and say like, oh, if you never played Fable before, the characters are always weird looking. Fable had like cartoony graphics. They weren't trying to look realistic. And like the characters, yeah, dude, Fable 2 was one of my favorite games, man. So anyway, I made this tweet where I said, I'll never feel insecure without makeup on again after seeing this monstrosity. Now, the reason why I said this caption, well, first of all, I thought it was kind of funny. And second of all, I said it because that's always the rebuttal. When I talk about a female character being ugly, they're always like, well, she doesn't have makeup on. She doesn't have makeup on. That's why. But this isn't just a matter of not having makeup on. This looks like a man's face. Like I showed in that like side profile, her brow was huge. Just very masculine features. Like if just a girl without makeup, the flaws are going to be maybe some little skin imperfections or a little bit of dark circles or something, but that's not really a problem if you got a pretty face. But this is a dude's face. It just looks like a dude's face. And I know people, I did this before. If y'all remember the debacle surrounding Horizon Forbidden West. And I said Aloy and the other character. Nobody cared what I said about Aloy though, because, you know, they had to make up some fake narrative. But the other character, the lesbian girlfriend thing, I said she looked like a dude and I said she was ugly. Well, then the voice actress got mad at it. You check out that video if you want. It happened like a month or two ago. Or the actual mocap actress, which I think she was far prettier. So here's the thing. If this character was modeled after a real person, I have two things to say about that. One, either they made her look uglier than the real actress, which is probably the case and usually the case that has been going on. Or B, maybe said person modeling isn't their specialty. And that's okay. And it's not our job to coddle people's feelings about stuff. You know, we're not going to like go out of our way to go after somebody. But come on, man. When you're making a video game character and you need this character to be appealing to some degree, like I said, she doesn't have to look like a runway model. She doesn't have to look like a corn star. But come on, man, there's got to be some sort of appeal. If they would have just feminized her bone structure a little bit more, honestly, I think that's really all they had to do. Feminize the bone structure, maybe do something with the hair, then she'd be fine. But that's just, yeah. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I just saw this in the replies. It says Chris Morris, level designer, Playground Games for Fable, non-binary, trans female. Thanks to Heels versus Babyface for digging around. Man, Az is a legend. Dude. Bro. That does look kind of like a self-insert. Yo. That is a self-insert. Oh, man. This just answers so many questions. And so then, is that this same dude? Because I saw this tweet rolling around. Or is... whatever. Okay. Well, so this was a message like on a forum or something. Oh, no. Oh, no. But I was just like, I didn't know if this was real or not. But now that I'm seeing this, I think it actually is real. Whew. Okay. Man, I just know people are going to get mad at me over this. This is it. This is my this week's canceled thing. Okay. It says more women involved in creating video games. Women feel threatened by depiction of attractive women. We get this. You know, this is kind of the case because a lot of like the video game industry, they hire a bunch of diversity hires and they have to hit certain quotas and stuff. And I do think that as they hire more women, gaming has declined. I'm just going to be honest. I'm a woman. I can say this. As they have hired more women, gaming has declined. And especially as they've hired more they thems and crap. Like, yes, it's declined. I don't know. I just don't freaking know. And that's not to say that there aren't plenty of women or even maybe they thems who are passionate about video games and love video games. And, you know, are similar to how I am and most other actual real gamers are, where it's like, hey, we like to play as attractive characters. It's fun. They need to have some sort of appeal, right? So even when I talk about attractive characters, they don't have to all be attractive. They don't have to be all like you're playing and you want to date the character. Like, it doesn't have to be that. There's different ways to make a character look appealing. So let's look at like Super Mario Brothers. The characters are all cute looking, right? So they're not like hot. They're not attractive. Like, one of my favorite video game characters ever is Luigi. Like, we go way back in like Super Mario Brothers 2 when I was a kid. I loved playing as Luigi, and Luigi's always been my main on most Nintendo games that have him as an option. Except Smash Bros. He's like my secondary because Pikachu is my main. But anyway, I digress. There's some sort of appeal there. The art style is appealing. It looks good. So whenever we say characters need to be attractive, it doesn't mean, oh, we want to bang every character. Like, that's retarded. That's like degenerate. And so I'm not saying that. So anyway, this looks like, okay, so Chris Morris. Oh, hey, some personal news. Today was my first day as level designer with We Are Playground. I'll be working on Fable. Okay, so he is doing level design. So I don't know if it's actually, I'm not totally sold on if this is a self-insert, because he's doing level design, not character design. I will not lie, there is some sort of resemblance there in bone structure, but that also could be due in part to the fact that they just gave this character male bone structure. She doesn't have female bone structure. And it's not saying women can't have strong bone structure. I have pretty strong bone structure, but it's still female. I don't have a dude's face. And this girl has a dude's face. So there's a difference there. And so this is just like a widespread problem we're getting with female characters. I mean, used to, you looked at games with female leads and they were pretty remarkable. Like, they're memorable. And look at the classic Lara Croft. She's so much more memorable than the modern Lara Croft. People aren't going to be talking about current Lara Croft 20 years from now. They're still going to be thinking of classic Lara Croft. Even when you look at Halloween costumes and stuff, most women who are dressing up as Lara Croft are dressing up as classic Lara Croft, even over 25 years later, right? Because she is more memorable. We like her better. We like that she's so beautiful and all that. And so let's look at this character, for example. Okay, because I spoke on this a little bit, because Kotaku, being Kotaku as they always do, Star Wars Outlaws Backlash proves we need more women protagonists. We don't need necessarily more, we just need good ones, because we haven't had memorable ones as of late. A lot of them are just basic looking. Now, I will say Aloy looked good in the first game. I just feel like they really made her look a lot worse in Forbidden West. So it's not that we haven't had any, and especially when you look at Japanese games. I mean, look at 2B from Nier Automata. She's so cute. So there are some. Now, in this case, I don't think it's the most egregious, and I don't think it's, this isn't nearly as bad as like what we're getting with Fable. She's not an ugly woman. She's cute, I guess. I do like her hair is so different. Like, it's very 80s and different than what we're used to seeing. So she does have things that make her stand out a little bit, but she's still not. I feel like they could have just done a bit more. Just make her a little more, make her stand out just a little bit more. Because when I'm playing as a female character, I want to have that like power fantasy a little bit of, okay, I'm playing as like this beautiful character. And with her, it's like, okay, she'd be cute for like, you go to Walmart and you see her and you be like, oh, okay, she's cute. But she's not like, you don't get that power fantasy vibe, I guess. And I don't know, maybe, I know they're trying to go for like realism a lot with games, and that's also part of the thing with all of this. But for me, I like games to be stylish. I like games to be an escape. Like, I love games like Devil May Cry, for example. Look at Devil May Cry 5. Every character in Devil May Cry 5 was super attractive. And they were attractive in like, they still had like some quirky features and stuff on some of them too. But they still, look at Nico. I mean, she had some kind of like quirky features. She had like a gummy smile and all that, like things that people wouldn't consider conventionally attractive, but the way they put it together, she was beautiful. And she was a great character. So, I mean, Capcom in general does a really good job though. So they definitely stand out. It's just more, Western game studios that seem to miss the mark on this kind of stuff. But overall, I'm just really, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of all these grounded games. I like to play games that are a fun escape. And I like to look at visually pretty imagery. Okay. So again, not pornographic crap. Like, nobody's saying this. And I feel like the reason why they push back with that is they try to, they go with this hyperbole to just discredit us, discredit our opinions and what we want to see and all that. And so it's like gaslighting in a way, really. So it's just, they just don't even want to hear us out on these kind of things. And they just want to write us off as if we're all just degenerates who are just being weird, when that's not even the case. It's just, okay, it's fun to play as characters who look good. That's that. It's an escape. Look at fighting games. Look at fighting game dudes. Look at male leads. Like, guys like playing as these really strong, attractive male characters too. It's about the escapism of it. Now, I think there's still some room for characters who aren't super attractive or something, but to make that the majority is just kind of odd. And it just, the characters just don't stick with you the same. This is why when I think of memorable video game characters, I'm thinking of like characters from 20 years ago or longer for the most part. There's not as many modern characters from the past, especially 5 years, who I will even think about at all, especially in the future. But anyway, there you have it for my video today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to read your Bible. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.